Hi, uh, I'm Mark, and this is Reading Aloud. And let me get our room set up. Uh, we want this. We want uh, this. And okay, this is Reading Aloud, which is also known as reading out loud, same meaning. It's also called oral reading. It's also called ondoku. They all mean the same thing. And they are all very, very, very common in English language teaching. And because you're going to be a teacher, I think it's important that you think about it. What is it good for, reading aloud, and what is it not good for? And that's what we're going to be working with today. Okay? So can I ask you to think of your experience as a student? What do you like and what do you dislike about reading aloud? And can I suggest that you turn off the video, work with a partner, and spend about a minute just talking about the topic? What do you like? What do you dislike? Okay. Are you back now with things you like and dislike? Hi, talk to the group. And I will share a couple of problems I have with reading aloud as it's usually done. Okay? And please understand, I like reading aloud. Just I don't like some of the things that often it's used for. Okay? And one of them is we have, say, 30 students in the classroom, and only one is reading, and 29 students are waiting for her to make a mistake. And I don't think that student is learning very much. I don't think anybody is learning very much from that kind of situation. The other thing that's very, very common is group mumbling. Yeah? When everybody's supposed to be reading, but actually a few people are reading and most people are just kind of mumbling along, not really speaking very clearly. Okay? Um, okay. Now, because we're in, okay. What I'd like you to do is, I hope you have the handout. If you don't, please go to helgesonhandouts.weebly.com and find Reading Aloud and look at our story. This story is from Unicorn, Junior High Unicorn, and it's about Easter Island. Please take about 1 minute, 2 minutes perhaps, and read the story out loud. Please turn off the video while you read. Okay, are you back? Did you read it out loud? Okay, now can you work with a partner and what do you remember? Please say it out loud. Now, I'm hoping you have a partner, but if you're doing this, for example, alone on Zoom, just talk to yourself. What do you remember from the story? Turn off the video while you work. Most people find they don't remember very much. Why? Because reading aloud is not really reading. It's mostly a speaking activity, not really a reading activity. So we're going to look today at some reading aloud activities that actually are reading. Okay. I want to explore reading aloud because it is so common. It's common in English language teaching classrooms everywhere in the world. Okay. So it's going to be used. Let's make it worth doing. And it is actually good for certain things. Number one, we don't read like this, or to read it more like what it says on the screen, we don't read like this. Yeah, pushing all the words together. And we don't read like this. We read in units of meaning called chunks. This activity helps students notice chunks. Now, you need the handout, okay? And as I said, I hope you're working in pairs. In your pair, one of you is A, one of you is B. Now, for the chunking activity, reading out loud in groups of meaning, A-san, please read paragraph 1. In paragraph 1, I've marked the chunks. I've marked the places to read and the places to pause, to take a short break. Okay? A, please read that. B, listen, mark the chunks. Okay? Draw the lines where there's a break. And then, after you finish paragraph 1, check by B, read back, and A checks. And then B, please read paragraph 2. A marks the chunk. You'll want to turn off the video while you do this. Okay, and I gave you a surprise preview. What is she feeling? Stress. And we want to talk about stress, but not this kind of stress. We want to talk about sentence stress, right? Loudest syllables. And this is important because stress is the key to natural English. And this is especially important for you to remember because your mother tongue is Japanese, where Japanese is very even. Stress is the key to natural English. Whereas English, we hear the stress a lot more. Stress is the key to natural English. So let's work with stress. That's the next activity in your handout. A, on the first paragraph of part 2, it's actually marked paragraph 3 on your handout, I've marked the stress. Please read it to B and make the underlined syllables louder. B, underline them, then read back to check. Then B, you read paragraph 4. A will mark the stress. And of course, turn off the video while you work. Okay, reading rhythm. And I'm not 100% sure this is going to work. So let's try it. I'm going to stop the okay, I don't know why, but I lost the metronome. So I'm going to go to this screen and open it and search for online metronome. And we have that now, I hope. Here it is. Now let me go back to this. Let me go back to Zoom and stop the share, start the share again, find the metronome. Here we go. And test the speed. Let's try it. And it's not working. So let me go back. I must have forgotten to turn on the sound. Try it again, turn on sound. It is there. We'll try it again. If that doesn't work, we'll just do it by hand. Okay, this isn't working, so I'll just do it by hand. Online metronome. What you do is you take, okay, use the part of the handout. Use the part of the handout that's marking stress. And I wish I had the other metronome here, but I don't. But I'll just keep a rhythm. Yeah. Okay, and A, please read in rhythm. So it's something like this. Today we know the statues are very old. Some of them were built 1,000 years before. Okay, can you, with your partner, A-san, please read, keep the rhythm. I'll do this for about a minute. Okay, that was the count of 50. Now let's change. It's B's turn. Ready, go. Okay, using a metronome helps students get used to the rhythm of English, which is very different than the rhythm of Japanese. Okay, the next activity is called read and look up. And it's just what it sounds like. Usually with reading aloud, you're just looking at the paper or the book and reading out loud. Here, you look at the copy, the book or the handout, and see how much you can remember. But every time you speak, you look up and make eye contact with your partner. Let me show you on the A page. The mysterious stone faces for Easter Island staring out to the sea have puzzled people for nearly 300 years. Okay? I'm saying as much as I can remember when I speak. But then when I can't remember anymore, I stop, look back at the paper. Now, can you do this with your partner? A, read silently to yourself, and then read out loud to B. And then B, take turns. B reads out loud and looks up at A. Turn off the video while you're doing this. Okay, variation, read and look up, and shadow. Okay, so for example, A says, The mysterious stone faces on Easter Island, and B, shadows. The mysterious stone faces on Easter Island. And then A continues, staring out at the sea have puzzled people for 300 years. Staring out at the sea have puzzled people for 300 years. You're just doing regular shadowing, but with whatever your partner read aloud. Again, turn off the video. Please practice with a partner. Paired oral reading. This is a kind of speed reading. We're seeing how much you can read very, very quickly. Now, I've set the timer for 30 seconds. That's a little short. In class, I'd probably do 45 seconds or 1 minute. But let's start. A-san, let's just change it just because A-san always starts. B, how about you read first for 30 seconds, see how far you can get. And after 30 seconds, please draw a line that shows how far you were able to go. Ready? 30 seconds, go. Okay, now it's A's turn, 30 seconds. A, how far? Can you read out loud in 30 seconds? Go. Okay, then you read it again. But let me stress, you're not competing. A, you're not trying to read faster than B. B, you're not trying to read faster than A. You're trying to read faster than you did the first time. So this time, A and B, please read out loud at the same time, 30 seconds. Can you go farther than you did the first time? Let's give it a try. There we go. Next activity is called Catch the Mistakes. Oops, I spelled that wrong. Catch the mistakes. And how it works is you just take the reading, go through, make 3, 4, 5 changes. Okay, they're not really mistakes, they're just changes, but for example, A reads and makes the mistakes. B, listen, try to find those mistakes. As teacher, you decide, is B-san looking at the paper or just trying to remember? Both are useful. You decide. So for now, please put away your paper. See if you can catch my mistakes. The mysterious stone faces on Christmas Island staring out to the island have puzzled people for nearly 500 years. What were the mistakes? Yeah, I said Christmas Island, not Easter Island. I said they were staring off to the island, not off to the sea. And I said 500 years, not 300 years. So those were my mistakes. What I like about this activity is students make mistakes when they're reading aloud. It just happens because we're human. So here's a way to turn it into somewhere between an activity and a game. Can you try it with your partner? Turn off the video, make notes, make some mistakes, read it to your partner. Partner, can you catch the mistakes? Okay, video's off. Okay, and our almost last activity is called Catch the Emotion. At the bottom of page 2, it says task 10, catch the emotion, and you see a bunch of emotions listed there: excited, bored, tired, angry, scared, etc. Take a minute. Do you know these emotions? If the students don't, please make it clear what they mean. And then choose an emotion. How would you read if you felt bored, if you felt confused, if you felt embarrassed? Choose an emotion, read the paragraph to your partner. Partner, try to guess the emotion. Again, turn the video off. And you might want to do this 2 or 3 times. And something I'll point out, you now know 10 different ways to read aloud, and most of them don't take very much time. So what you might want to do in the classroom as the teacher, you introduce them slowly, one at a time, but then after that, okay, 3 minutes, catch the emotion, work with your partner, go. And it's a very quick activity. Finally, the last activity is so simple, but so useful. Read to each other. Yeah. One of the ways you learn to read your mother tongue as well as English was being read to. Yeah. So take a few minutes. Asan, please just read to B. After, say, 2 or 3 minutes or after the first paragraph, change parts. B reads to A. Read to each other. Okay? Video's off for this. And now we're almost at the end. You just had 11 different reading aloud activities. Can I ask you to work with your partner? Actually, pairs are good, but if you're in a classroom, groups of 3, groups of 4 are okay. There were 11 different activities. How many do you remember? Turn off your video while you see how many you can list. Go. Okay, and when you're ready to check, please check the list on page 2. And that was reading aloud. I hope you've learned some new ideas. And I hope you thought about what reading aloud is good for and what you don't want to use it for. So good luck with your teaching. And I hope you come up with many, many new and fresh ways to teach English. Okay. And I'm going to turn off the recording. Thank you very much.